Good morning, everybody. My name's Tara Norton, and I'm the Director of Supply Chain Sustainability at BSR. I have to say, I was a bit nervous about speaking in front of you, but Jeffrey Wright's speech really put everything in perspective, and I think I'm feeling a lot calmer after listening to the important issues that you're working on, so thank you. So I'm here to talk about something completely different. I have the distinct honor of launching a new segment of the BSR conference, which is called Take10. Many of you in this room are well aware that BSR works on multiple collaborative initiatives with our members, and obviously you are the key part of that. And we've heard from you that you want to know more about these initiatives, and so we're taking 10 minutes at different points in the conference to give you a little snapshot of some of our initiatives, very different initiatives, to give you a flavor for them and to call you to action to actually get more involved. And so I'm going to kick off today's Take10 with an initiative which is very near and dear to me, which is the Center for Sustainable Procurement. And I'm joined by our Senior Procurement Advisor to the Center, David Lawrence, who has more than 25 years of experience in procurement and sustainable procurement, and we're really thrilled to have him. And we really love sustainable procurement. So for those of you who are less enamored with it, please bear with us, and hopefully we'll convince you of how exciting a topic and how important a topic it is. So just to kind of set the scene, sustainable procurement is not always the sexiest of topics in sustainability. Sustainable procurement, which we define as buying and sourcing, considering social and environmental impacts, is, however, an eminently practical way to engage your companies in sustainability. And we believe that it can be transformative. And it can open up opportunities for businesses to impact material flows, material choices, technical innovations, and change global supply chain practices. And thinking about what Ethan was saying earlier today, good enough can really be a big problem. And I think we're here to say in procurement, there's a lot of practices that are good enough, and let's try to change them. So we're going to tell you a little bit about sustainable procurement and a bit about the CSP. So David, HEC and EcoVadis did a survey. They do a barometer once every 2 years. And the most recent one in 2013 showed that 93% of CPOs and procurement organizations view sustainable procurement as a key objective for their companies. And that's up from 40% just 10 years prior. So why the increasing importance of sustainable procurement?
Thank you, Tara. I think you and I have seen the evidence from the people we work with. The supply chain element of sustainability is something that is coming increasingly to the fore. And I think there's three key reasons to that. First of all, the theme of the conference, the transparency. It's about needing to explain to consumers what they're buying, where they're getting it from, and how it's made. And increasingly the demand is there through social media, as was talked about earlier, to be able to explain that, so the supply chains are coming under increasing scrutiny. Secondly, I think there's an increasing amount of legislation around the supply chain, whether it's the UK Bribery Act, which looks at the corruption element of it, whether it's the California Transparency Act, which looks at different aspects. There is an increasingly raising bar around what's happening there. And I think thirdly, there is a lot of pressure from a lot of the activist groups. A number of companies in the room will be able to talk about what's changed in their organization because of Oxfam's Behind the Brands campaign. So there's an increasing amount in those three areas about what's happening.
Great. Well, that's really, I think, yeah, I would agree with you completely, obviously. We agree on almost everything. So, but also, just the other point, and actually it's up on the screen now, is the same survey from EcoVadis and HEC found that only 50% of the companies surveyed have allocated any real responsibilities towards it. So what do you think the barriers are to enabling sustainable procurement?
I think a lot of that stems from it being seen, or sustainability aspects of what we buy, being seen separate to what the normal procurement people's day jobs are. They have objectives around getting the right materials at the right price, at the right place, at the right time. They're not yet enough being told to do it in the right way and make sure that what they're buying is available for the future forever. And I think understanding the business case of the value of doing that, from where it goes wrong to the opportunity that it brings the brand, would make a huge difference in actually making that better. Together with understanding how to do it, the tools, the processes, the capabilities that the buyers need to do that will enable them to do it. And it's not about adding something on, it's about just incorporating it in the way buyers do their day job.
Right.
And therefore, that said, it brings us neatly on, the role that the CSP might play in that. What is it set up to do, and how might it help that opportunity?
Great. So next slide, please. Actually, I don't know who's controlling the slides, but yeah, so the Center for Sustainable Procurement, which we've nicknamed the CSP, we are establishing as the go-to place for sustainable procurement. And there are 3 things we're working on, and we have different companies participating in this. I should say we've had some strong support from Hilton in this for the last few years, and a number of companies have engaged in projects and in participation. We are working on the business case. So what is the business case for sustainable procurement? How can we make a clear case that this really should be procurement, part of procurement's daily job? We're working on developing tools to enable procurement to have more of a capability to buy, taking environmental and social concerns into account. And this is underpinned by a methodology which we've developed over the last 8 months, which basically takes a standard procurement framework and applies sustainability to that, making it very practical and to enable, again, sustainable or procurement professionals to really take sustainability into their daily work. So that's what we've been doing in the CSP, and we're hoping to get more engagement and involvement around it. We do have a website, and there are a number of case studies that are already available, and there'll be more to come.
Excellent.
Yeah. So I think with that, hopefully we've given you a little taste of what the Center for Sustainable Procurement is about, and one of the collaborative initiatives that BSR is very pleased to be telling you about. I should say, in closing, please do come and speak to us. During the conference, right after this, during the break, my colleague Megan will be at the BSR Connect booth to talk about the CSP, and either myself or my colleague Jesse Nishinaga, who is the manager of the CSP, will be there tomorrow morning during breakfast if you're interested in learning more. And we're also going to host a lunch table on Thursday. So if you're interested in learning more, see myself, David, or Jesse. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.